Michael, you're going to come on this program and you're going to look America in the eye and you're going to tell us that you did not see any cognitive decline in Joe Biden because we saw it, we chronicled it starting in 2019. You're going to tell us that?
Well, I am, because I've been very consistent about that, Sean, with all of your colleagues on all of the Fox News programming since I left the White House at the end of 2022, that my 3 years
Michael,
in
let me interrupt you.
In the White House.
Michael.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Okay.
I think you're full of crap. Let me be honest. Let me be straight here. We have tape after tape after tape. I could spend the next hour. We spent an hour on Friday playing him struggling, shaking air, not knowing where to go, talking to dead people. He could barely utter a sentence. He was a shell of his former self. Now, either you don't have eyes to see or ears to hear, or you're just, politically blinded, if I'm going to be charitable, or just a political hack. But you can't say you didn't see it. I don't believe you.
Okay, so Sean, you have the highest rated programming on Fox News, on the highest rated cable network, and in 2019 and 2020, the American people saw the same thing and had the same access that you did, and he still won by 7 million votes and has the most votes ever received by any president in American history.
So, last
I'm not here to defend the cover-up.
Did you not see it during the debate? Did you see it during the debate?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
That was the first time you saw it.
Sean, it was the first time many people saw it. Yes, it was.
I don't believe any of you. I just don't believe it. I think you're so politically biased. You can't see through.
No, Sean.
You hate Trump so much you can't see through the lens of politics. Let me bring Miranda in to be fair. Miranda.
Yeah, hi, Sean. Look, I think Michael's perspective is really interesting because there are a lot of people who weren't all that close to Joe Biden every day who said that he had good days and bad days. He had good hours and bad hours. And Jill Biden and Anthony Bernal and a couple of other aides kept Joe Biden away from the public. And especially, he faded towards the end of his presidency much more obviously. So Michael wasn't there to see that. And I'm not sure if Michael had the same sort of access to the residents and to Joe Biden. Did Michael watch TV?
Michael, did you watch TV? Did you watch TV, Michael? Did you follow the news?
Yes, I did, and so did the 83 million people who voted for him in 2020. I too, and I know that you're a student of history, and I know that you, Sean, remember when Nancy Reagan was hiring and firing staff, and she was ousting the White House chief of staff, and her daughter were influencing decisions and advising on Iran-Contra.
I will take Reagan, and I studied his presidency. And in his worst moment, it doesn't ever compare to Joe Biden in his best moment from 2019 forward. Miranda,
and yet he still got more votes than Donald Trump ever did. And yet.
Oh my gosh, you're a broken. He would have gotten his ass kicked. Miranda.
But go ahead, Miranda.
Michael,
but you know what,
I'm really
Miranda?
interested. Yes.
But Miranda, you were 100% correct. You were 100% correct in your column when you said it was Joe Biden who made the decision to run in 2019. It was Joe Biden who made the decision to run in 2024. And it was Joe Biden's ambition. You were 100% right about that. It was Joe Biden and no one else.
I don't believe that.
Yes,
Miranda.
and I never want to let Joe Biden off the hook. I think by saying that he was a total vegetable, we're just saying, oh, it's not his fault that the border was a disaster. It's not his fault the economy fell flat and inflation was high. It is his fault entirely. He's an egomaniac and his ambition ruled everything. And at the same time, he was cognitively impaired and became more so over time. But anyone who knows that disease knows that it waxes and wanes. But I think Michael has really good insight. I wouldn't mind hearing about Anthony Bernal. I think he was really pulling the strings behind the scenes. And I know you worked with him and were quite close to him. What do you say about his role?
We're running out of time. Quick response.
There was a group of people, Anthony being one of them, where I feel like their obligations to the Bidens became much more of an emotional attachment, and they crossed into a zone that was no longer political advisors or advisors to the Bidens, but more like friends and family, and that did them a disservice and a disservice to the entire Democratic Party, unfortunately.
Who fed
all
those sheets? Who fed, and the country, who fed all those sheets into the auto pen machine? We got to find that person. Maybe one person will tell the truth, and the whole scandal will come.
I think you know who they are. It's a staff secretary like every president has had, and the auto pen has been used by every president since Eisenhower.
Trump. He goes like this. He does his big signature. He uses it.
Yeah.
All right.